Welcome, crafty friend, to part 1 of my Charming Day card class. I'm sharing 4 sweet and simple tutorials with this new bundle by Stampin' Up and the coordinating designer series paper Floral Charm. And if you'd like to make these cards at home, I have a free class kit available for a limited time. And all the infos are in the description of this video. Now let's get started with an easy way to add color to your die cut shapes like I did here on card number 1, even if you're just starting out. So let's get stamping. Now this is the way you get your individual card kits when you get my class kit. So everything comes in an envelope, and then you have bits and pieces prepared for you. And of course, don't forget at the end to stamp your envelope to match your card. So the pieces we have here is a basic wide thick cardstock base, regular format A2, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4.25. And by the way, also details on how to get the PDF tutorial for this whole class also in the link in the description. Then I have some basic white here, and I already cut out this label for you, so that will be included in your class kit. This is from the Hugs a Bloom dies. That was a special release for Paper Pumpkin that coordinate because the June Paper Pumpkin kit in 2025 coordinated with this suite. Unfortunately, these dies are sold out now, so but you have it in your kit. But I mean, it's a beautiful label. I love it, but you can replace this with whatever you have. Then I also have some Night of Navy cardstock that is already embossed with our wonderful Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. It's one of the large ones. This is currently my favorite, I think. I've been crafting so much with it. Then we have some designer series paper from the Floral Charm pack in the suite. So we have the front and the back, or the other way around. And then in here, this new orange is our new in color Timid Tiger, and you have a 1/4-inch strip here included in your kit as well. Okay, so let's get crafting. First, we're going to take this piece here and our die that makes our branch here. So we're going to die cut that first from our basic white cardstock because we want to be smart about using our cardstock, right? So I'm just placing that off camera right here into my die cutting machine and just run that through. I hope it's not shaking the table too much. So, and that's the only die cutting we'll do on this card. Okay, so it's a very intricate shape, so you want to be careful wiggling it out of there. So if you want to make these cards at home with my card kit, you can use any bundle you have, any stamps, any dies, whatever you have, or of course you can order this bundle. So there we go. There's one tiny piece here in the middle that usually doesn't come out. So I'll just use my take your pick tool and poke that out. So now I'm bringing in, let's put that die where we don't lose it. I'm bringing in some scrap paper and a blending brush. And I decided to use Mossy Meadow. That's one of the colors in our designer series paper. So I'm taking my piece here, my die cut piece. And usually what everybody's going to tell you is, you know, when you ink up your blending brush in your ink pad, you don't want to start right onto your layer, right? So you don't get these weird smudges. But here's the thing. This is why this is so perfect even for beginners or busy crafters. You know, you just want to get right to it. This card is meant for you to just dab, dab, dab. Okay, all over. It's going to take you a minute here to do it. So it may not be an actual time saver, but it's just creating this really nice texture. So, because doing circular motions on such an intricate die would be really difficult to do without tearing the paper, bending it. So if you have some very juicy ink pads and you don't want to waste that ink, this is the perfect way to do it. So if you got a new ink pad and you have some fun die cut shapes that are like this, like very intricate, and you just want to use up that ink without wasting it, then this is the way to go. Just die cut some shapes and just get tabbing. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. So, and you can make this as intense as you need it to be, you want it to be. That's up to you. So, just a little bit more down here at my stem. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oh, gorgeous. I just love the... Should we leave it like that? I feel like just a little bit more down here, maybe on the stem. You want to make sure not to touch right on it. I kind of love this gradient up here, so I think we'll leave it like, yeah, we'll leave it like that. I love it. So, and I mean, this is the way to get that nice texture. It would be really hard to kind of achieve this look with a watercolor wash or with Stampin' Blends. Of course, you could do that too. Well, we'll do a little bit more there to cover my white edge, and maybe a little bit there. But to have this very, like, actually watercolor kind of look, as if you were die cutting it from watercolor paper, this is the way to go. Okay, so anyways, and that was the whole... Ow, I just bumped into my lamp here. So that was the technique I wanted to show you today. So we'll let that dry for a second because it is a whole lot of ink. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I will stamp that in Night of Navy to coordinate with my embossed layer there. And we'll be using the You Made My Day stamp. And I'm going to stamp it down here. So inking that up. And let's see if I can get that on camera without making it too crooked. So let's see, a little bit to the side here. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Couldn't have been better. All right, close that ink pad before we make a mess. Okay, so letting that dry off for a second there, and now I can go ahead and assemble my pieces. So I'm using some liquid glue for the embossed piece here. Okay, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have put some in the middle, but that's okay. We'll be fine. So now I'm just layering it here without trying to get all that adhesive on my fingers. So we'll just line that up here. I would actually recommend that you put your designer series paper and your strip on there first. So if you need to trim it off a little bit. Okay, let's see. So that goes on here. Oh, that looks pretty good. So we can go ahead and glue this down to our main card base. So just a little bit more liquid glue. And make sure you got your card base the right way. Opens like that. And I just love how it gives that card a little bit, just a little bit more interest, even though it's a wide layer and you may not even be able to see it right now. But yeah. But I'm sure you know, it always, like, cards always look better in person than they do on camera. So, all right, just making sure everything's in focus. Okay, so then we can go ahead. I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal, if it's going to cooperate. There we go. And I'm telling you, I really love this color combo of Timid Tiger and Night of Navy. At first I was like, okay, do we need another orange? I mean, pumpkin pie is always, you know, a good choice for the fall season. And I mean, it's called pumpkin pie. And then we have peach pie, so some more pie at the moment. Okay. And all right, we have a little bit of blue showing there, but that's fine. Okay, and now here's my tip for adhering like a 1/4 inch strip. So that's what it is, a 1/4 inch and then 3 3/4. So I'm just, if you struggle with our liquid glue in these bottles, go ahead and put them into these little, like you can get these applicator bottles for, I think for paper quilling, maybe for quilling. So, and I just put a little bit of that on here. So that's enough adhesive to just get it on here. So let me just get that out of the way. And then I will glue that down right here on top of it. So we have a nice seam there for our 2 parts. Oh, I love this. And of course now we're going to use some dimensionals on our card, on our sentiment. Sorry, I got distracted for a second and I went straight into squirrel brain. So, and then maybe one in the middle. Can't hurt, right? Okay. I want my card to hold up. So we'll do 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, and then we'll put that off a little bit to the side here. Trying to hit the middle and make it straight. Okay. Well, don't overthink it, right? That's definitely something I'm guilty of, overthinking my card designs. So, love it. All right, and now we can bring in our piece here. And I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. Please don't mind the mess over here. And I will, let's see here. So I know we'll have some on here on this sleeve. And it's going to be on this. This will hang over the sentiment. And maybe I can do just do some dots. So even though, I mean, the whole point is to not have too much adhesive come out of this. So, and now placing that onto our, let's see. I wanted to kind of wrap around my sentiment there. Like that. Yeah, maybe a little bit lower. Oh, okay. And yes, I mean, you could try and support this with dimensionals a little bit, but I feel like it just adds to it, you know, when the recipient takes it out of the envelope and, you know, you have this gorgeous, very fragile leaf here, or this, I don't know, bow, greenery, whatever you want to call it. So maybe, yeah. Okay, so now if you're wondering why I have these strips here, what I like to do is, these are just leftover strips from, you know, basic wide when I cut my layers. So, and then what I like to do is just put a little bit of it, I don't know if you saw that, just put a little bit of it here. And then if you have a piece, you know, where you can't really get your bottle under there, just kind of, you know, slide it under there a little bit and then push it down. All right, and that's it. That is card number 1 in this class. You'll find all the details about the free class kit and the PDF tutorial down in the description. And if you want more ideas like this, be sure to join my email list for weekly inspiration and class announcements. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.